The elementary school that we went to in Tridale was a big brick building. It had 4 big rooms and a hallway east and west and one north and south. And there was a kitchen on one end and a library on the other end. And then on the other one was where we hung up our coats when we came in. And there was 2 grades in each classroom. We started school when we were 6 and went to the 1st grade through the 8th grade in Tridale Elementary School. And our principal was our bishop also, and he was my best friend's father. He was an interesting guy. He was bald. He didn't have any hair above the ears, but he was a fun guy. But he was very strict also. And I think when we graduated or went out of the 8th grade, we probably had a better command of English, composing sentences, diagramming, knowing proper way of saying things and using the right tense and stuff. We felt really good about going into high school because we were very well able to keep up with everything in school. We were taught well. But my 1st grade teacher was Thelma Lee, and she was never had children, and she was, I liked her, but she was kind of cranky. In the 2nd grade, we had Mrs. Overhansley, and she was a fun lady. She could play anything you wanted on the piano. She'd sit on the bench and pounce as she played, and she could just play anything you wanted to play. And she composed some music that was really interesting, and I loved her dearly. The 3rd grade teacher was Mrs. Hobb, and she had a son that was kind of a quirky, weird kind of a guy. Giggled and laughed. He was a mechanic. He worked for my Uncle Ray in the mechanic shop, and I avoided him for some reason. I didn't feel comfortable around him very much. But Mrs. Hobb was a good teacher. She taught the 2nd and 3rd grades. I mean the 3rd and 4th grade. And the teacher would teach the 3rd grade for a while, and then she'd assign us something to do, and we'd work on that while she'd go and teach and instruct the 4th grade, and then she'd instruct them, and when they got them assigned to do this assignment, then she'd come back and work with them. That's the way the teachers did. They rotated, and so you learned not to be concentrate on having the other group gabbing and discussing. You concentrated on what you were doing, and that was the same. I had Mrs. McKee that came and taught one year. And we had a Mrs. Wyman that taught, and she left after about 4 or 5 months in Tridale and went away. And so this lady, Mrs. McKee, came and finished up that year. Then Mr. Morrow was a 7th and 8th grade teacher, so you had him those 2 years. And at lunchtime, there was cooks that cooked in the kitchen, and they would cook our meals, and we would carry a little metal tray, and we'd go line up in front of and get our tray, and we'd go back into the room and sit down at the desks and eat our lunch. And when we were through, then we'd go take the dishes and put them away. And then we could go out and play, and we just had lots of fun. Boys played marbles, we played softball lots and lots. I think there was just about 3 boys in my class. The rest of us were girls. And so we did girl things more of the time, but I liked the softball. I was a tomboy, and I played with the boys a lot. What they were doing, it was more fun than what the girls did. I liked math. I was good in math, and I did well then. I was a lousy reader. I was dyslexic, and it was really bad. Nobody could identify it, and I didn't know what the problem was. I just couldn't read. And I hated it when they called on me for my time to read, because I couldn't read, and everybody would just snicker. And I had this concept that I was dumb because I couldn't read. And I didn't learn to read really well until after I got married. And then I think that then by that time they had identified dyslexic, and that what the reason was, you have letters that switch around in the word. And so they're not lined up like they are. And I couldn't spell. Oh, I dreaded that too. We'd have a test every Friday. We had 20 words on our list, and I would miss 15, 16, 17. And it wasn't just something that you did and handed it in. They had to call your name and you gave out how many mistakes you made, and I always was reporting 15, 16, 17. It was, so I just identified myself as really stupid and dumb. And that's really a bad thing, because you have a real low self-esteem, you know, when you see yourself as, you know, a dumb kid and not able to do something. And nowadays, you know, they can identify that and they can help work with you to teach you. And even now, after we were married and I was working in our business, I would write things down, and I always had to double check everything, because I'd write it down. And if I had 4 letters or 4 numbers, I'd twist the 2 middle ones. It just happened. And so I always had to double check, and I'd sit down to the desk in the morning before I went to work, and I'd say, okay, now keep your mind straight, you know, keep track of what's going on. So I had to teach myself to see things straight.